So, we were the first university to award degrees regardless of race, creed, gender or political belief. It may sound very old-fashioned today in 2019, but at the time that was really revolutionary. We are the world's, not just the UK's, but the world's oldest distance learning provider. Personally, I'm not so keen on the term distance learning. It conjures up images or perhaps materials appearing through the letterbox and you're just left to your own devices to do the study. But it is a very concise term, such that we do create all of our courses, but it allows students to study these the world over. In that we did not want there to be any barriers, not just on race, creed, gender or political belief, but also geographical barriers to accessing high-quality higher education. Indeed, the origins of our international programs go back to, there was a potential student in, I believe, Mauritius in the mid-19th century who wanted to study law, but did not have the resources, the money to go and study in the UK itself. And this was pre-internet days, so I don't know how this potential applicant could easily get hold of the rules and regulations of University of London, but he did, and he could find no reference in those regulations to say that the student physically had to be in London to pursue a UOL degree. And I think as an aspiring lawyer gave this argument to the leadership of UOL at the time, and they agreed that there did not need to be this compulsion of being in the UK at the time, and hence the international programs were born. More logos, yay! So the University of London, formally it's a federation. You've got the Russian Federation, the University of London Federation. I was at another talk by a colleague of mine who gave a very nice word, an alternative word to capture this University of London structure. I really liked this. He said, the University of London, it's like the mothership. Oh, that was good. The mothership, for which it encompasses many illustrious names in the world of higher education there. I believe there were some World University Rankings tables appearing a little earlier. Well, I'm sure names such as King's College, LSE, UCL, Birkbeck, among others, are highly familiar to you. I am biased, but of course LSE is the best. It's my bias. So, and we're all, with the exception of Royal Holloway, which is a little bit on the outskirts of London, we are all concentrated in a very small geographical area. Indeed, from my office window at LSE, I can actually see at King's College. So we are a high concentration of universities right in that heart. So let's focus on the LSE and its role in offering our international programs. This is our main entrance, okay? It's called the Old Building, the Old Building. Very imaginative name, so I believe it's the oldest one on campus. And that is the picture postcard image of the LSE. So, yes, we are a member institution of this federation or mothership, but with regards to the role we play with our international programs, we provide this academic direction. A succinct term, a bit like distance learning, but perhaps is not entirely clear, so let me elaborate on it. So we design through our so-called EMFSS programs. We love acronyms in academia, so EMFSS, Economics, Management, Finance and Social Sciences. So collectively, the disciplines which are taught internally at the LSE. And I think the second point cannot be stressed enough, that the programs we offer internationally, of course I'll speak specifically on data science and business analytics shortly, they reflect degree programs offered internally at the LSE. So it's not just the fact that academics design the learning materials for these courses, they do so to ensure parity, equivalence with modules internally at the LSE. Numbers! I love data, I love numbers. 21,000. Is that a big number or a small number? Well, it depends. One number in isolation is meaningless. You need a reference point. You need a benchmark. So what would be an appropriate benchmark here? I would say the number of undergraduate students at LSE itself. You know, we're right in the heart of central London, but we are very, very small. We have very limited space. We have approximately 4,000 undergraduate students on campus. For every one seat in the lecture halls at LSE, on the undergraduate programs, on average, there's about 12 or 13 applicants per place. All of them are very academically able, straight A students at school, and we would love to have everyone, but sadly we physically cannot accommodate them. So one of the number of benefits of the international programs, it is very much scalable, and we are not restricted to offering our undergraduate tuition just to our internal 4,000 students. We can expand the numbers considerably. Numbers fluctuate, but that's our sort of ballpark figure. So, moving down, this academic direction. What is it that we LSE academics do? So myself, primarily on the statistics courses, and many far more illustrious colleagues of mine at the LSE in other disciplines, we design the curriculum and we set and conduct the assessment. And I should stress the importance of the assessment component. So it's not just your writing the study materials, which students here in the lecture halls at HSE will study from, and it's not just the fact that these are modelled on equivalent modules internally at the LSE. Central to any academic qualification is its reputation, is its credibility. And so logistically it is a huge process, but it is necessary to underlie the reputation of the final degree certificate. So our courses are not exclusively, but majority are exam based. And those examination papers, students sit them locally with independent invigilation, but exam papers which are sat are written by the LSE academics. They are not quite identical questions to the exams sat internally at LSE, purely because of a slight difference in calendar dates when the exams take place. I said May, June. The majority of exams tend to be in May. At LSE, exams tend to be late May going into June. And so we cannot have exactly the same question paper sat perhaps 2 weeks apart internationally versus internally. But the standard, the level of difficulty of our exams, there is parity in that. So we have one exam sitting per year, May, June, primarily at May. And those question papers, once sat here in Moscow, these scripts will be couriered by DHL, FedEx, whoever the courier company gets the contract next year, to London. And academics, we're very boring people. Throughout June, July, into August, we have nothing better to do than to mark scripts. We really have no social lives at all. And the power of the red pen, whether to give a tick or a cross, whether to give a mark or not, love the power. Every script will be marked by 2 examiners, independently of each other, to ensure an accurate grade for each script. And then these marks are affirmed by the University of London ahead of their release. Now, does anyone, it's not terribly large, the image, does anyone recognise the lady in the image there? Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, my head of state, Your Majesty, there we go. Now, I don't know how you book the Queen for events. I'm not sufficiently well connected yet. But this was a photo taken at LSE. Do you remember the old building, the image I showed you previously? There it was, the old building. Every building at LSE has a name, old building, because it was old. But we have more than one building. And in 2008, we had a new building, and quite rightly, this was quite a major event when a new building is ready to be opened, and you needed a celebrity to come and cut the ribbon, or in this case, draw the little curtain. Okay. So I think Beyonce was unavailable We got Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, she came, and if you come and visit the campus, please do, we'd be delighted to see you. You will see the plaque in this building that she opened to confirm she was there to draw the curtain. Every building has a name. I said the old building because it was old, and makes sense. 2008, we needed a name for this new building which was going to be used for academic purposes. I believe extensive consultation was done for the naming of this building, this new building for academic purposes, and even today, the name stands. This new building is called the New Academic Building. Brilliant, genius, absolute genius. I know, it's great. Firstly, I think it was quite short-sighted. This was 2008, we're now 2019, it's no longer that new. So when we get a new building, is it the newer academic building, newest, who knows? But I put this up for a reason. 2008, that's when the last, but or most recent, but perhaps not the final ever, global financial crisis struck. And I think it's fair to say, not many people saw this thing coming. Not to say no one predicted it, a few did. I think Nouriel Roubini in New York was quite a major person who predicted the financial crisis, but most people disbelieved him. So the Queen came and she asked a question to the esteemed academics who were there at the time, why no one saw the financial crisis coming. These so-called experts who dedicate their lives to researching their fields of study, how come? Perhaps the biggest economic event since perhaps the Depression of the 1930s, how was that not foreseen? And academics, quite rightly, were there with Her Majesty in front of them and were unable to offer Her Majesty an answer at the time. Academics being academics, they went away, consulted, formed some sort of round-table discussion, and about, 7 months later, June 2009, they were able to offer Her Majesty a response. They took out an open-page letter in a newspaper, and basically they explained that the real world is it's complicated, and hence that's why we couldn't foresee it. It was too difficult. Well, LSE was set up in 1895 with a mission. Like all great universities, we have a motto. Our motto in Latin, rerum cognoscere causas, English translation, to understand the causes of things. That is what LSE was set up to do in 1895. Fast forward to today, 2019, I like to think our understanding of the real world around us is far greater than it was in 1895. But by no means is it complete. Back home I'm having some marriage difficulties, not me personally, but Brexit! The UK is having a divorce from the European Union. Very few people saw that coming. So LSE's work, its research is not yet done, but every year our understanding of the world incrementally improves, increases, expands, and that feeds into the tuition in our courses internally, and of course for the international programs as well. So, Her Majesty, indeed, while she was there, wasn't just putting the curtain, she decided to sit in on a public lecture, okay? So, all I'll say is, just observe the facial expressions and body language in the next image. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. I promise you, the nature of what we teach is very exciting and stimulating. Okay? So I think Prince Philip came along also for the day. He seems a little bit distracted there. But I promise you, our academic content is extremely interesting. So, that's the degree certificate. You saw a smaller image of this earlier. View this as your passport. Now, I fully appreciate that choosing your degree program is not a decision to be taken lightly. Indeed, why are you here today for this open day? Effectively to collect data. Maybe not numbers in a spreadsheet, but no doubt you're picking up the leaflets, you're touring up the campus, you're collecting some perhaps qualitative information in these sorts of sessions. And this is helping you to make really a data-driven decision. Let me add to this. All degrees are not equal. Clearly there are many universities around the world, but reputations matter. The degree awarding body matters. And your degree, Admittedly, with the data science program, it's a 4-year program because it's in parallel with an HSC degree, but the UOL component is just 3 years. So I'll take the British analogy here. A degree is not just for 3 years, a degree is for life. It will be on your CV, it will be on your resume forever. Whether you wish to go on to postgraduate study thereafter, or whether you wish to go straight into the world of work, who awarded your degree program, that will stay with you forever. So all degrees are not equal, reputation matters. I don't know how good your eyesight is, but it mentions on the degree certificate the LSE name, in that the wording officially writes, having registered with the University of London and passed the approved examinations conducted by the London School of Economics and Political Science, blah, blah, blah. I would like your name to be there. I would like your degree name, BSc Data Science and Business Analytics. VC is the Vice Chancellor, whoever he or she is at the time you graduate, but also it says with classification. I would like, and I think every single student who enrolls in our degree programs has the potential to graduate with first-class honours. Not an easy task, indeed. Globally, the percentage getting first-class honours, clearly it will be a minority of students. But if you work hard and you've got excellent faculty to support you here, you are maximising your probability of success. I will be doing a separate lecture on data science a bit later on this afternoon, when I will begin really with this graphic, but appreciate that data is everywhere around us. And every single minute, every single second, vast amounts of data are being generated. Are people delving through that data, interpreting it, understanding that data, drawing insights and taking actions? Occasionally, yes. But I think there are many undiscovered insights. So I'll be returning to this bit a bit more in my data science talk this afternoon. You have the leaflet, so I don't wish to repeat exactly what's in there. But basically, analytical skills are in high demand. Job automation is a major concern in the years ahead. But clearly, some sectors, some types of employment are far more susceptible to job automation than others. Tasks which are repetitive and predictable, they can easily be machine automated. But the demand for people with analytical skills, that demand is going to ever increase for the foreseeable future. And this new, and it only launched last year, this new degree program is responding to the needs of employers and a changing sort of labour market. So the course, as we saw that lovely Venn diagram about the perfect data scientist, blending communication skills, statistics, programming and business. All of those things feature within our curriculum for this degree. Inevitably, it's a finite program, just 3 years, and there is a limit to what we can squeeze in to just 3 years. Nonetheless, we gave careful thought to our curriculum to ensure a broad interdisciplinary mix. So you will become a bit of an economist, you'll study some introduction to economics. The business knowledge coming in through business management in a global context. Combined with statistics in fields such as the so-called paper 6, business analytical, applied modelling and prediction, various mathematics modules, some programming, you've got your information systems management, you've got your machine learning, and some optional courses in the final year, so you can flavour your degree to your specific interests. So cross-reference the degree program structure with that very appropriate and accurate Venn diagram about the perfect data scientist, and indeed we've done our best to encompass all of those skills in that degree program. So we are delighted with the demand, not just here in Moscow. The degree is running in Singapore, Sri Lanka, and interest in some of our other teaching centres globally too. And we are very pleased with the high and strong demand for this degree program. So I appreciate degrees. It's a life-changing decision. and it's not a decision you should be taking lightly, and that's why we are absolutely thrilled to see so many people here at our open day, and we hope after you go home later on today, you are in a position to make a better informed decision. But remember, all degrees are not equal. The reputation of the degree awarding body matters. Getting access to LSE curricula through our international programs, when we can only take 4,000 undergraduates in total on campus, a great thing. The classification that you graduate with, you have a great faculty team here to maximise your probability of success and get that first class honours. And frankly, with this program, it's a dual degree program with HSE, I think you will be set for a very bright future indeed. Whether you seek your careers here in Russia or abroad, really the world is very much your oyster. So I should just end off by saying spasiba.